And on this video, we're taking a look at the Xtool D7 Bi-directional scan tool. This advanced scanner is able to access special functions as well as dealer level type of functions, and is also able to send commands to the vehicle to activate different components. And on this video, I'm gonna walk you through its features, including the live data function and graphing. And I placed a link in the description down below to this system if you'd like to look at it further or acquire one for yourself. And the scan tool comes in on this hard carry case, some heavy duty metal latches, and inside you got the scanner and some accessories. Let's start with the scanner. And the D7 features a 7-inch touchscreen. Now the body of the scanner is hard plastic, but there is drop protection on all 4 corners. This material is softer. Now on the back of the scanner, it does not have an integrated kickstand. It also does not have a camera. And on top of the unit, you get an input for power in the form of USB-C protected by a dust cover, and also the input for the DLC connector and the power button, which is backlit, which is always a nice thing to find it at night. Now let's take a look at the accessories. This is the cable that connects the scanner to the vehicle, and we also get a power adapter, which does have replaceable faceplates. That way you can use this in different parts of the world. And you also get this USB-C to USB-C cable, and also a USB-A to USB-C adapter. And let's go ahead and connect to the vehicle's OBD2 port. If you're having trouble finding the port on your vehicle, I have made another video covering how to find it. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. And the first way to diagnose a vehicle is going to be with the auto scan function, what some people know as auto VIN detection. And we're given the choice to do an automatic scan or to select individual systems. Let's do an automatic scan. And several issues were found. Now before I go into those details, notice that the battery is currently charging, and that is because we are connected to the vehicle, and that is one advantage of scanners that are not wireless. But going back to the DTCs that were found, there was one issue found with the navigation system, another one with power source control, and then another one under their smart key, and then several issues on their combination meter and also tire pressure monitor. And if you keep scrolling down, you can see that the rest of the systems with that green check mark tested out as okay. Now there's a couple interesting icons in the bottom. The very first one allows you to clear all the errors, which is gonna get rid of the check engine light, but we're not gonna do that. The second icon is the DTC list, and this is a nice summary of all the issues that were found on a single page. And you could also create a report using this icon. Now another thing I wanna show you is not only can you see the details of what was found, we can actually go directly into that particular system. Notice that first it tells you a small description of what the system does, and then once you go inside of here, you can hit read DTC, and it's gonna give you that code. But also, if you tap this search icon, it is gonna take you straight to the internet, and it's gonna look for that issue. That way you can see if somebody else has already found the solution for it. But let's go inside of another system. Let's check out engine. And again, it's gonna give you that option to read the codes. There are obviously no codes in the engine, clear any codes, access live data, freeze frame data, or activation or special functions. Let's take a look at special functions first. And these are the different functions that are available for this particular vehicle. Now let's take a look at the actuation test. And these are the different things that can be activated on this particular vehicle. Some vehicles allow you to have more control over others depending on how new they are. And if you don't need a full scan of the system, you could always do system selection, and here you can go directly to the system that you're interested in looking at and diagnose it that way. Again, you'll be presented with these different screens, and then you can navigate to the particular function that you're interested on. Let's also take a look at live data. And let's take a look at engine RPM, which is called engine speed on this scanner. And I'm gonna tap custom, and I'm gonna give it some gas. But in addition to seeing it on that numerical form, I can tap on chart, and then I can select column. Tap that one more time, I can select graph. Tap that one more time, and 2D graph. That's pretty good. And you could also choose to record the data, or you can choose to pause and freeze the data. And this scanner supports up to 8 different parameters at the same time for the graphing function. So as you can see, I selected 8 of them. If you try to select more than 8, it won't let you do it. So you could deselect one that you don't need, and then you can select the one that you're interested on. Let's go back to this one. I'm gonna go ahead and tap custom. Again, we can see them here in just in numerical form, or we can do one of the charts. And let's try to do, let's see this column one. That one's probably not going to be as helpful as doing the graph one. This is where it begins to really shine the advantage of being able to graph multiple parameters in kind of a together format. I'm going to go ahead and do the 2D graph. And this is probably one of the most convenient ones, because you are comparing right now several graphs on the same page at the same time, and all of them have been color coded so you know what they are, the different numbers right now that belongs to them, and also the graphical representation of them. And if you don't want to use the AutoFun function, you could always do a manual scan by tapping on the vehicle, and then you will select what make you're working with to begin the diagnostic process. Notice that the supported makes are sorted out by different regions, so this is a good opportunity for me to show you which vehicle makes are supported by the scanner. This is what's supported under the Australia tab. Let's take a look at the next tab, and I'll scroll down through here. That way you can see if the vehicle make that you are looking to diagnose is included with the scanner or not. And moving over to America, I'm gonna go to the top, and that's the bottom. Moving over to the next one, I'll go to the top, and then I'll scroll through here. That way, again, you can see if your vehicle is covered or not. Then the EV tab, and then we have the tab for Europe. And if at any point in time you do decide to use the AutoFun function, you can tap on the shortcut right here to automatically pull it from the vehicle or to enter it manually. The other use for the manual scan option is to be able to scan vehicles that are not on the supported vehicle list using the OBD2 Scan option functionality. Now this particular vehicle is somewhat rare, that's why it's not on the list of supported makes. However, we are able to scan it using OBD2 diagnostics. So here again, I could read the codes, erase the codes, read live data, freeze frame data, and several other options. And again, here I can scroll through the different options of data that's streaming from the vehicle, and I could do the same thing as before, where I can choose to record them or I can choose to graph them if desired. Now let's take a look at the special functions, which are sometimes known as service functions. As you can see, you have service light, maintenance reset, ABS bleeding, BMS reset, that's for battery management, TPMS, injector coding, EPB, which is the electronic parking brake, AC, throttle adaptation, EPS adaptation, airbag reset, water pump actuation, DPF regen, power balance, CPS reset, gearbox adaptation, tire size reset, suspension adaptation, IMO, which is the mobilizer, ABS, ESP adaptation, clutch adaptation, control unit reset, speed limit, high voltage battery, rain light sensor, seat calibration, transport mode, stop start reset, EGR relearn, turbo relearn, instrument cluster, FRM reset, headlight, language change, Windows, EEPROM, AFR adaptation, sunroof initialization, cam sensor adaptation, and GPF regen. And as far as updates, the scanner includes 3 years of updates. Now you could select updates individually, or my preferred way of doing it is by doing the update all option. That way all of them update automatically. And the scanner keeps tracks of the vehicles that were tested with it, and you can find those on their report. And on their CSV view, here's where you'll find the data. If you recorded any data from the vehicle, you can always look at that later. And again, you can change on here the way that that data is graphed and shown. Moving over to this icon right here that says more, here's where you can manage your profile. And this includes filling out the information for your workshop if you want any of this stuff to show up on your reports. There is also a shortcut to the optional endoscope attachment, and a digital copy of the instruction manual. You also have this icon right here that takes you to the internet. In this case, it's going to take us to the Xtool website. However, because this is a Chrome browser, we can navigate to something else instead. So let's go try out YouTube. So let's try out the video and audio capability of the scanner. Advanced bidirectional scanner I have reviewed yet. It has topology. It also supports service functions, live data, and key programming, as well as support. And finally, we'll take a look at the settings tab, and here is where you can change the unit of measure if desired, and you can also change that volume and brightness. And in addition to these controls, there is also a drop-down menu where you can control the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, orientation, and more. And finally, you are able to get behind the scenes because this is a tablet that's running the software, and I like when scanners do not lock you out of being able to access all of its settings like a traditional tablet does. So remember, I have placed a link in the description down below to this scanner if you'd like to get one for yourself. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments also. And if you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel and stay tuned as I have a lot more scanner reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.